Thank you for joining Crime Fiend TV. I'm your host, Vonnie G. Today we'll be talking about the Savanah Soto case out of Leon Valley by San Antonio, Texas. So we're going to start with the timeline. Basic information, factual information. On Friday, December 22nd of 2023, Savanah's family was trying to call her, text her, get in touch with her, any type of communication. Savanah was in an abusive relationship and she was pregnant and a week overdue. Trying to reach out to her, like regular family does. I'm pretty sure they talk every day on occasion. I speak with my mother every day. I speak with my sisters every day. So I'm pretty sure it's just a natural thing of her mother, sister-in-law, whatnot, reaching out to them, to Savanah. No answer and no response to the text. Go to her apartment. Their car's not there. Nobody answers the door. It's like, whoa, where are they at? Matthew's family starts becoming concerned where are they at because he's not answering his phone and he's not answering his text messages. So the family is worried with concern. But now they're like, okay, you know what? Tomorrow we'll go to the hospital. They're going to be there. They're going to be there because they're so excited of having their baby. So that's what the family does. They go ahead and wait for the next day to come, which would be Saturday, December 23rd of 2023. They go to the hospital. There's no Matthew. There's no Savanah. Nor are they at any other local hospital with her in labor or already delivering the baby. Now their senses are heightened, right? Like, where could she be? She's a week overdue. And they were very excited to have this baby. Here's a clip of Savanah's mom.
When I called her all morning, she wasn't answering. It was going straight to voicemail. And we went to the hospital anyways, and she was a no-show. And that's when I called the cops. She was so excited to have this baby.
After this, Gloria goes down to the police station and files an official missing person report for Savanah. And, asking them, can you put an Amber Alert? Can you please bolo, whatever, right? Because she's overdue. Like, that should be an emergency in itself. Police go to the apartment. They can't gain access to their apartment. Matthew's dad is worried out of his freaking mind. He goes over there to the apartment, kicks down the door. He sees a candle on. He sees her labor bag there, her purse there. Like, no, something's freaking wrong here. Something is wrong. Why would they leave all this? Matthew was opening the presents at the baby shower anxiously, right? At the same time, Savanah's family is thinking that he has something to do with her disappearance because he was out on bond for assaulting her just a year before around the same time. This is the actual mugshot picture of him of December of 2022 being arrested. Well, Matthew's mother made a post, which I felt like was inconsiderate type. Like, you must not have thought before you posted it. And this is what it reads. If anyone knows my son, Matthew Guerra, he and his pregnant girlfriend are missing. I know my son, and he wouldn't do anything to hurt her. She is due to have their baby. Her things were left behind that she packed for the hospital, including her purse. The neighbors said they heard Savanah screaming for help, and the next morning they saw them get into a Cadillac. My son's phone says the caller is unavailable and their car is not at their apartment. As a mother, I know my son and his girlfriend were taken against their will because my son does what he does for money. He is not an abusive boyfriend. It's envy and those who hate on others who don't need anyone. That has something to do with my son and his girlfriend missing. Please help if anyone knows anything to let me or his brothers know. Thank you. Like, why would you even put that when you know that there's alleged proof against your son of physical abuse? Well, Savanah's family responded back saying, her sister-in-law said, your son's been putting his hands on my baby sister-in-law. Woo, 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 woo. So I can understand the anger from Savanah's side of the family, At this time, everybody's making assumptions of what could have happened. One is that Matthew had to have done something to her. Two is that a little over a year prior to this, Savanah's younger brother, 15-year-old Ethan Soto, was shot and killed for allegedly stealing drugs from some guy, right? And they went to court in October of 2023, and this is what occurred in court. I can understand, why the police and the public would automatically assume that that could possibly have something to do with it. But in the end, as we all know, that is not what occurred. On Tuesday, December 26, 2023, Savanah and Matthew's bodies were found abandoned in his car at an apartment complex a couple blocks away from the hospital. Savannah's family received a tip. They went to the location, they seen the car, found the car, they backed off, didn't touch anything, notified the cops, police, they came. They also seen what the family seen and started conducting their investigation. I want to say that the chief of police gave a statement how the crime scene was complexed at the time because they don't know what happened at that time. So, like I said, with the past of Matthew and Savannah's relationship being volatile, I'm pretty sure they probably thought it was a murder-suicide, but when they found out that Matthew was shot behind the ear on the right side, which you cannot kill yourself that way, that's too far back, now they know it is a homicide. And in the affidavit, it did say and state that a baby was pronounced dead on the scene. And natural behavior for our bodies, like when you go through something traumatic, she was already overdue. Her body probably started doing what a body is supposed to do naturally, and that was deliver the baby. I am not sure. That's just my opinion. It's not in black and white. I haven't found it nowhere, seen it nowhere. That's not public knowledge or anything. Once again, that is my personal opinion. If you know how the body works, you can understand what I'm trying to explain, what I'm trying to get across. So their bodies were found on December 26th of 2023. A few days after that, or maybe the next day after that, they released a video where you see Matthew's car pulling up to a truck. You see two people. They asked for the Secret Service's help, and that's when they come and make two arrests, a father and a son. The father, Ramon I don't want to say it wrong, Preciado, and the son, Christopher Preciado, Preciado, Preciado. And then San Antonio police asked the Secret Service for their help, and it was determined on further investigation of watching the video, their surveillance video, that there's another person in that truck because they throw in a white town. It looks like it's coming from the passenger seat. So when these investigations are conducted and they have made arrests, it doesn't mean that the investigation stops. They have to continue investigating, collect enough evidence, more evidence if there's any, to make sure that they have put the right people behind bars. That third person was arrested, and it was Christopher's stepmother, Martha Romano. Crazy, right? Crazy. I wanted to share these affidavits with you guys because I did feel like they're important, and I'm just gonna summarize them, but you can feel free to pause the video at any time and read them yourself. So the first page states that the officer observed a deceased pregnant woman inside the right front passenger seat. And in the beginning of the case, they were like, oh, Matthew was in the front, Savanah was in the back. Savanah was in the front, Matthew's in the back. Well, here are the facts. Savanah was in the front, and the male was in the back. The officer then observed the back seat of the vehicle. He observed a deceased male in the back seat. Due to a murder case of the year before, which is of Ethan Soto, Savanah's brother, that detective recognized her and recognized Matthew. A search warrant was requested so entry into the vehicle could be conducted. While waiting for the search warrant, the officer spoke to the families of the female and the male. It was found that the boyfriend to the female sold narcotics and would use his phone through cellular communication as well as social media to sell narcotics. It was also advised that the boyfriend would post money and narcotics on Instagram. It was stated that people wanted to rob the boyfriend, and it was stated that the boyfriend had been shot at before. The family provided the detective with the phone number of the female. The family of the male provided the detective with the male's phone number as well as his Instagram. The search found spent shell casings in the vehicle. However, there was no weapon recovered in the vehicle. There was apparent blood transfer on the outside of the vehicle that was not consistent with the boyfriend causing harm to the female. Both the female and male had gunshot wounds to the head, and the male also had apparent drag marks on his back. It was believed that the female and the male were killed at a different location, and the vehicle was driven to the recovered location. The officer found surveillance video, right, which is the one that we all see, and he also used the GPS on the car to locate where the car had been, where it had stopped. So like that, my Ford Expedition, it has that on there. You can know where it's at, where it's parked, where it was turned off at. If the tires are low, it goes to the phone, to my husband's phone. So these cars these days, they do have all that. And people that want to commit crimes, you need to keep that in mind. It's not even worth it, really. You know, it's just not. It's like, you're just wasting your life. You're going to get caught. And if you don't get caught the day of, you're going to eventually get caught. The second part reads that the vehicle pinged near Charlie Chan Drive and Cary Grant Drive around 23:50 hours on the night they went missing. The vehicle did not start moving until around 23:54, which I want to say that's 11:50 at night, and then it moved at 11:54 at night, which is only a 4-minute difference. So it's like you pulled up to the house, you drove off. The vehicle then traveled to 5903 Danny K Drive, where the victims and their vehicle were discovered on December 26th of 2023. So, I wanted to let you guys know that they are believed to have been killed on Thursday, December 21st in the nighttime. And then I seen it on a different YouTube channel. This man has all the Instagram posts, all that stuff of where Matthew is putting that he's going to get a new shipment in tomorrow. He's going to have some new shit, you know what I'm saying, pictures of it. And he even got the prices on there. Like, I've done stuff back in my day when I was younger, you know? And the drug game was not like that, where you're posting it online. It's like you're giving the feds and the cops evidence against you. You might as well just go get your haul, pick it up, drive up to the police station and say like, hey dude, I got all this shit I'm about to slang out on the street. You feel me? Catch me if you can type shit. Like, what? Crazy. Okay, back to the affidavits. Because of the pinging location of the vehicle, they had the address on Charlie Chan Drive. Guess who lives on Charlie Chan Drive? Christopher. They show up at that house. His father, Ramon, answers the door. He says to the cops, I know why you're here. You need to speak to my son. They take both of them down to headquarters for interrogation. And you remember the famous clip of the prep walk, and he's like, y'all don't know what you're talking about, the father Ramon? Bro, you're not getting arrested if they don't have enough evidence, but you said everything. You know, it says, while at the residence, Ramon reported knowing why San Antonio Police Department was there. Ramon informed the detectives to speak to his son, identified as Christopher Preciado. Ramon Preciado and Christopher Preciado were transported to San Antonio Homicide. In the interrogation room, after Ramon Preciado was read his Miranda rights, Ramon Preciado admitted to driving his Silverado Silverado to 5903 Dan K Drive, where he met Christopher Preciado. Ramon identified himself on the surveillance video from 5903 Danny K Drive, where he met Christopher, as the person observed exiting the Chevrolet Silverado. Ramon reported meeting Christopher at this apartment complex, who was driving another vehicle. This vehicle is the vehicle in which Matthew Guerra and Savanah Soto were found deceased. Ramon admitted to assisting Christopher, knowingly treating the human corpse of Matthew Guerra, Savanah Soto, and the unborn child of Savanah Soto named Fabian in an offensive manner by leaving them in the abandoned vehicle. The detective then spoke with Christopher. Christopher was read his Miranda rights. Christopher reported Matthew and Savanah drove to his residence on Charlie Chan Drive to sell Christopher some marijuana. Christopher went to provide a version of events that were inconsistent with evidence collected on the scene and from the victim's recovered vehicle. Christopher claimed the male victim pointed a weapon at him, and Christopher was able to manipulate the weapon, resulting in the female being shot. Christopher then stated that he had the weapon pointed at him again, and he manipulated the weapon again, resulting in the male victim being shot. And remember, they were both shot on the right side of their head, behind their ear. Come on, dude, you were in the back seat. Let's be for real about the situation. And what they mean by manipulating is that he basically wrestled the gun for Matthew. If you wrestled the gun for Matthew and Savanah got shot, how did Matthew regain the gun? They have no defensive wounds, no nothing. But the cops didn't believe him. Christopher's statement, this is from the cops, Christopher's statement is inconsistent with the gunshot wounds suffered by Matthew Guerra and Savanah Soto, the evidence located at the crime scene. Christopher intentionally discharged a firearm at Savanah Soto and Matthew Guerra with the intention of causing death. The actions of Christopher resulted in the death of Matthew Guerra, Savanah Soto, and Savanah's unborn child named Fabian. Now, they haven't, I don't think they've charged him yet with the murder of the baby, but they damn sure need to. If you enjoyed my video, like my content, I hope to get better over time. I'm going to set up a Spanish channel for all my raza that doesn't speak English, or your grandparents or whatnot. You're able to, put game on the other channel. And I'll put a link down so that way you guys can find it. But I really hope you guys liked my content, and I hope you tune in. If you could subscribe for me, I really would appreciate it, and comment, all that stuff. I really would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.